Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Mindful Merchants. You guys know who I am, Cali Reseller Luis. You guys know who this guy is right here, the
That's
man
me,
with the cowbell, the
the
Lone
Lone
Star
Star
State
Loco.
Louie.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. And guess what, Luis?
What's
Guess who
up?
we finally got in the house? There's our
Yep,
homie.
we got
What's
my
up? What's
bro,
up?
Hustle Q, in the building.
Also, Q is in the house tonight. And here we go. Other than that, we call him one day at a time reseller.
Yep.
And thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you. It means a lot to us. And thanks for your patience for like waiting in line and stuff. And give us a little ditty about yourself. Tell us where you're from. However, you don't have to tell us your street address or nothing, but like
Now,
where are you out of?
originally from Compton, California, man, like that. Veteran, pretty much out there. But now I'm in Chino, California. Not Chino Hills, but Chino, California.
Okay.
Just chilling, doing my thing, man.
What's the difference between Chino Hills and Chino, California? Are they close or are they?
You know what? They're right next to each other, but I think it's more Chino Hills is a higher end.
Yeah.
Then
That's
Chino
the
is
more of the, yeah.
yeah, but Chino is kind of higher too, though. I mean, where I stay is like houses are 800,000, 900,000, but maybe Chino Hills is a couple mil. I don't know, man, but it looks the same to
Oh, I'm
me.
sure they are. Like, yeah, the higher they go, they probably got that money to anchor the house. You know what I mean? Because for mudslides and whatever.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Man, you could be doing like in that. What's that Friday movie? We can go to Rancho Cucamonga. It's
yeah,
like,
I
one
mean,
of my
that's a
favorite.
perfect example of what you're just saying, Louis. Rancho Cucamonga is high end. The houses are millions of dollars. And then you have Upland or you have Altaloma.
Right next to it,
And it's
right?
like people are asking what's the difference. It's like Q says, they're right on the border of each other. But if you go over to one city, the houses are like millions of dollars. You go to the
Mm-hmm.
other side, like Q says, about $700,000-800,000 houses. So
It's
yeah.
funny because here in Austin, Texas, because we have Austin proper, but then there's, I mean, I'm not joking when I say things are starting to merge, and in about less than 50 years, I see like San Antonio really kind of merging with like a track or something between it
Mm.
because things are and San Antonio is like an hour away, and
Wow.
so like yeah, things are just and things the housing crisis here, it's a crisis. I use quote unquote crisis like commute you I don't need to tell you, Q, you see a lot of that stuff. But in saying all that, so like I'm always, me, I like to ramble. So like I'm leading to something here. When you're there in Cali, you got a lot of influx, you got population, stuff like that. That is a perfect opportunity for a reseller. You want to talk a little bit about that, like how
You,
that
you know
affects.
what? It's like you know what? Reselling, when I see when they're having yard sales and stuff like that, I went to a community yard sale in a very beautiful neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have crap, dude. They
Mm-hmm.
they had nothing I was interested in, nothing I can resell or anything like that.
Or maybe like overpriced, because I did that once from
Yeah, you know what? I would go with half and half, overpriced. I mean, they were like eBay prices,
or just leftover stuff.
Yep, and some leftover stuff that didn't make sense, man. I mean, I got a video coming out, and I wasted about a couple hours going through a
Mm-hmm.
whole community, man, and didn't find anything. But then, on the other hand, where I live at, there's an app. People post up free stuff
Okay.
and just come and get it. So it is some good opportunity right there to
Yeah,
grab
like
some.
Buffer Up or whatever the neighborhood one where you're like, hey, we come and get it.
Yeah, well, because the complex I live in, they have their own personal app where people sell stuff on. It's like an offer up, but it's just for the complex only. And a lot of people just giving up stuff for free, man. And I'm just going knocking on their doors and grabbing whatever I can, like that.
Yeah, my buddy Oscar, who I go out with once in a while. Sometimes we don't tell each other, but we meet up at the same place. I'm like, you didn't tell me you're going to be here. You didn't tell me you're going to be, but he's got one of those, like, I think it's every neighborhood's different. So like his weekend is to get rid of all, they get rid of everything, the curbside stuff. And I told him, I'm like, hey, I got to drop off a bunch of crap because my neighborhood like threw it away last month. I still got more stuff. But he said it doesn't matter. People come.
Yeah,
They will come and load that stuff up like crazy. Even if it's old used stuff, they'll fix it up. People need it. So, Luis, so who do we got in the house? Let me do a little. We got. Oh, look at this. Our first guest here.
hello, Regina. Welcome. Good to see you.
Look at that. She'd like hustle Q. That's it.
You in the
And
crew.
then we got none other than the beautiful Ella.
Hello, Ella.
Oh, and she says Happy Labor Day. That's pretty good. For somebody who's British who doesn't have Labor Day in England, I don't think they do. Maybe I'm wrong. So, I don't know. Let's see. She's like she's like HQ. Now she's gonna be calling you HQ. Now we got to shorten it down to HQ. Yeah. You're like, yeah, you got problems? You come see this guy. You go to HQ. Oh, that's HR. Sorry, I'm thinking. Well, he's headquarters for the HR. That's it. You got a problem? Come see me. Okay, I'll fix it. That's so great. Oh, was Rosilla? Oh, there she is. I just passed her up.
Yeah.
She that every time I see that, I trip out. Like I'll be like, "There's a little kitty cat." Oh, that's Rosilla.
That's Rosilla. Yeah.
Review. Thank you for being here. Who else do we got here, Luis? We got a few more. There's some more people coming. I see the numbers going up, but people are being quiet and shy. So, all right, Tino. I was gonna say, don't be shy, bro. You know this guy?
Cali Reseller.
He is a troublemaker. That one. Let me tell you. Watch out for him. You know he be using his like you, and I'm going to get to that as a question here. We're going to talk a little bit about what we do. You've seen our jam here on Mindful Merchants. By the way, you guys, if you don't know, I got on it a little late, but all that information down there you need to know for HQ right down below. Also, Q's got his information, his Instagram. You got to see that, and you gotta finally catch up. This guy has more videos than Luis and I put together, and I'm telling you. I don't know why y'all ain't subscribing, but y'all need to get them numbers up. If you don't, pass it around to some friends. So shout out to everybody in the chat. I want to ask you a question, Q.
Yes, sir.
Here it is. You use on Instagram, they have that. Oh, now I got to go back and look what it's called. Let me go back to mine. So it's when you go into your main profile, you got a chance to put one. I think it's one link, right? You do like most people. We put Linktree.
Right.
And Linktree, for those who are new here and don't know it, boom, it is a chance for you to put multiple links. So if you got a YouTube, you want to put your whatever, all kinds of little goodies and stuff. By the way, real quick, I got to say hi to this beautiful lady, Reseller's Passion. If you guys don't know her, she was a guest here. Love her, full of positivity. Yeah.
She is awesome.
I love her to death. I mean, she asked some thought-provoking stuff. Y'all need to check her out too. And
you need to follow her. Yep. And she has some. She hosts some great rooms on Clubhouse too. You guys are on Clubhouse. You guys need to join her. She has a lot of great stuff.
Speak a little bit about that real quick, Luis. We're going to cut poor Q off. I asked him a question. We're making him wait.
No, I just brought it up because she's the one that actually got me into Clubhouse, and thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah. That was when it was only by invitation only, but now anybody can join.
Well, because remember when she was on our show, she was talking it up, and she, and you were like, what? And I couldn't get on it. I found out after I got really ticked off because I didn't have Apple, but now they're like upgrading it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but she does host a couple of great chats in there on Clubhouse. Make sure you guys go follow her and check her out. A lot of information. A lot of reselling information. She shares a lot of good tips, and there's always a great conversation. So if you guys are on Clubhouse, you guys need to check that out.
Exactly.
Jump on Clubhouse.
Most definitely, for sure.
Definitely.
We had Philly Flipper. Hey, dude, what's up, Paul? Fundamentals. Did you just change your damn picture again? Like that guy changes his picture like 7 times a day. It drives me nuts.
What's up, bro, Derek?
Oh, and don't forget our lovely Jennifer Hayes. And look at this, dude. Q, should be putting your thing up. That's some love right there.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Isn't that a great community we got, man?
I love Jennifer.
And thank you so much. So, and you guys. So back to my question: How are you getting to use that? That is crazy. I went on, Luis. I'm going to ask you a question. Did you click on his Linktree? Stop what you're doing while we be talking. Check it out.
I haven't.
How many damn links do you got in that Linktree, bro?
No, you know what it was? Before I really know how to use Linktree, I was just like, I kept going into it and posting up the new video. Okay. So when you click on it, you just go to that straight. Then I saw somebody just like, hey, just put the YouTube channel. And then I had a hard time trying to find my YouTube URL. I didn't know how to do it at first, man.
Yeah, you gotta like sometimes go in and tweak and adjust, like repost the link or something like just
Yeah.
But that's okay. No, I've seen somebody who had a lot, like maybe more than you, and I was just like, it's great because I'm like, he want to make sure you're gonna find this information. Yeah. Look at Luis. He's real cool. He's like, damn, what? Damn.
No, just all over. Yeah, no, but yeah, just add your YouTube link and you'll be good because once you go to it, it'll show your
I meant to delete all those, but just haven't got time.
You'll get, yeah, dude. Don't worry about it. Well, speaking of time, how do you find what's in your best interest, like, or what's one of your tricks, or, I mean, be honest, like, if you got challenges with it too, because I know I do. Like, trying to keep up with social media is just tedious because people think, oh, Instagram, post a picture or story, but then you got the link tree crap, and then you got this, and you got people email you. It's complex just on Instagram. So how do you deal?
It's you know what, I got I had my daughter helping me before she started school, as far as starting with listing. She would take the pictures for me, send them to me, and I'll do it. But trying to keep up with everything, man, it's like difficult. I had to slow down with YouTube of doing like one video a week, and then the Hate It Win Wednesday, because I was trying to do two videos like every other day or so, then every 3 days. And then that's when I felt like things were getting sloppy. So in order to manage my time, I had to hit that reset button and just back up a little bit and just try to put out some good quality videos, just one day at a time. There you go. One week at a time and go from there, man. But it's like, it's really difficult for me with a lot of stuff I got going on and everything. It's like I'm trying to manage it and sleep at the same time, man. It's really hard.
Take care of them kids, feed them mouths, put that gas in the car. It's tough because people forget that, content creators, and I'm not just talking about YouTube, but you definitely are a YouTuber. Let me tell you, dude, you got badass views. I went on the other day and I was like, why am I not hearing from Q in a while? And then I looked and I'm like, oh, I can't stand YouTube. They yank me off of people. And I'm like, I haven't subscribed a long time ago. Mm-hmm. And, actually I was probably watching you right at the beginning too. Who do we got in the house? Did we forget anybody else? And then Reseller's Passion, she says, definitely as always more links than me on his links. Yeah, that's she went to go look. But no, it's like you said, it's like trying to keep organized and then making the time. I'll be honest, like on my YouTube, my YouTube page is a hot mess, but one day Luis and I got to talking. I'm like, we got to make those what do you call it, where you make I never remember the name for the folders, whatever it's called, what do you call them? Playlist. That's what I'm trying to say.
Playlist, yeah.
Right.
So yeah. Right. Do you do that? Are you up to the playlist right now?
No, you know what? I am still learning new stuff about YouTube. Here's one of the things, man. I'll be trying to find out how people, and you guys already know, when they get the subscribe to come in and the hand to click, I'm like, how'd y'all do that? I heard one lady tell me about an app. I still couldn't figure it out, man. I'm like, I can't do it. I don't understand.
No, you can. And what it does is just being, we got to be our humble selves. Just reach out to one of your homes. And it's like, Luis and I are here always to help. If we don't know, we'll be like, I sure as hell don't know, but like, I will tell you one thing. The lovely thing about YouTube and being on YouTube when you don't know about YouTube is to click on YouTube and do that research. It somehow comes back. Sometimes how it is, dude. They'll throw you down a doggone rabbit hole. And then you're like, oh crap. And if you're like me, you got ADD, you're like, oh, why am I watching somebody spreading peanut butter all over their eel or something like that, or something crazy. How did you come up with was it like I Hate It Wednesdays or no, the whatever Wednesdays? No, the Hate It.
Okay, yeah, I Hate It Win Wednesday. Okay, I got that from Hate It Win Wednesday. So I got that from there's a radio host guy go by the name of Big Boy. He used to be with Power 106. So he always did I Hate It Win Wednesdays. So he moved to 92.3, but he stopped it.
Because they kept that thing. They probably kept that program, yeah.
No, he said that was his. That was his thing.
That was his thing.
He just stopped it. Yeah, no one ever did it. So I figured, you know what? Let me go ahead and do it, and see. If I make millions off of it, then they'll probably come after me. If not, it's all good.
You know what? It's yours now. You're making it yours. So that's what's good.
Oh, yeah.
I will say this, like when I remember a long, long time ago when you started it, I was like, wait a minute, Hate It. What you be hating on? And then I read when much. If anybody's seen your last video, they'll know it's indicative of the way you're treating the whole thing. Because you read other people's like, oh no, I hate it when, then you give everybody a chance to speak up, and then I love your sarcasm. You got a good sense of humor, and Your finds are insane, dude. Talk a little bit about that. Like, what's your style of sourcing stuff?
You know what, man? I look wherever I can. I learn from everyone when they do their sold videos. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's how I learn a lot. But when I'm searching for stuff, dude, I sit there and I try to I want to put the camera down and I have to search and I have to look up stuff, man. And it's just, I don't know if it's just luck sometimes. I went into an estate sale, found a little doll sitting right there on a table, and it was other resellers. And then I went late in the day, and that thing was still there. That was a $4 item I bought. It was a Sonic Hedgehog, and that thing sold for $150, man.
I love it. I love that stuff, especially when you're. It's not just being in, like you said. Maybe I'm at the right place at the right time, but you got to remember, there could be 11 others, and you're the 12th reseller there. But everybody got their niches. Like, I got to find my pencils. I got to find, vintage underwear. And I got to find, like Louie, I got to find them tees and fire up, and all of a sudden you're just doing that scope. I think you're an observer. I want to say from the few things I've seen you, doing this stuff, you're kind of like, you're checking it out, making sure, boom, and then like with a bionic eye, like Steve Austin, you got to hone in on that one thing. And then it's like, you hone in on what you're familiar with. We all come up with our niches a little later, and those things are always going to be our strong passions. Like Luis, he knows his sports cars. I'm getting really good at my game with my tees. If I can look at details, it's like, so when you look at that stuff, did you know like that Sonic Hedgehog like right away, or you just said, oh, something familiar, and grab it?
You know what? It was a toy, and that's one of the things I specialize in. It was a toy, so I just grabbed it. And not knowing nothing about it, and then when I scanned it, and I was like, "Wait a minute, hold up!" And then I did more. I held on to it, and I just started doing research for it. And I just held, and I asked the guys, "What are you guys asking for this?" Like $4. I'm like, "Oh, okay. Let me look around more." But I had no idea. So,
but you held it in your hand, right?
Yeah, I kept it, dude. I kept it, but it was like, I searched when I go to an estate sale or anything, mainly an estate sale. I probably hit the same room 4 or 5 times. Just in case I overlook something or anything, I go and just I circle around, and I'm like, and then I end up finding more stuff for some.
But that's smart, because you know what? When you went in that room, somebody, I ain't gonna say whose, but somebody's grandma will be like with them too, taking it, and then I don't want it, and just put it back. I've seen stuff put back,
exactly,
and it's and you go back the third time, like, oh, let me just do it. And you're like, oh shoot, I don't remember seeing that. It's because it wasn't there, because somebody put it back. So that's a good strategy. That's something good for anybody that's a new reseller watching this. Shout out, this is Mindful Merchants. Listen to Hustle Q here. He's got some prime tips for a reseller and anybody that's seasoned or not, because you don't go back. You don't take a chance. Sometimes your eye, you can have a lazy eye, you get tired, you're distracted, you're listening to a lady complaining behind you, you got somebody crawling up your butt, and you're trying to focus on your game, you know what I mean? Or you get somebody that's talking to you, right. That you can miss a detail for 1 second, and like you said, you wouldn't have got that $100,
Exactly.
That's what it's all about. So let's talk a little bit about toys. So I went to a flea market this weekend, and I killed it, I think. I paid up, but there was a dude there, and this is like the flea market I go to is like ones that you would go, oh yeah, those are the ones like I'm a kid. They already had the staged table that's probably out there rotting wood, It got a little paint on it, and this kid just had nothing but toys. But I mean, I got it. I mean, like vintage toys, stuff that you'd be like, oh crap, this guy's got fire 70s and 80s stuff, and then the 90s Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtles. But like, they didn't look like a lot of stuff. What's your passion? What's just familiarity, or just the love of toys because you got kids, or just what is it? Because you know the value, or what is it?
It's what I think. It's kind of coming from my kids, because I bought them so much toys, and then I realized, like, it's about the kids. Like when it comes down to Christmas time, you got to buy your kids toys and toys and toys. And that's just what got me into selling toys, is that because I know there's just a lot of kids that want toys. And then, besides collectors and everything, but it's been my passion with toys, because it seemed like for me, that sells more than anything, when it comes down to holidays, to birthdays, a little bit of everything, so everyone needs a toy.
Yeah, because like you can easily say, yeah, the good, vintage ones really sell good, but like you said, everybody gonna, always, and when you get a collector, they will fight hard and they will pay up.
Yeah, exactly.
And you want a slow nickel or a fast dime? I'll be like, oh, you know what? I mean, it's actually a fast nickel, slow dime. Sorry, and and so like, yeah, I'll sit on that dime for a little bit, and like, I know the right person is going to come along for this. But with toys, people are faithful, especially when they don't make them anymore. Like anything else, we don't have to just talk about toys, but you find that right item. Like Louis says, you're not going to find this slab anymore. They didn't print this anymore, and mine's a 10. People are going to want it. Exactly. You polish it up and stuff. Do they grade? Yeah, they grade toys, right, guys?
I believe so. Yeah, I know they do the video. Yeah, I think they got to. I mean, they grade everything else practically.
Yeah, somebody be out there doing it, I'm sure. What did Razilla says? Says slight setback, 3/4 of physical. Oh, she's talking about. Well, we still wish you well, Razilla. Yeah, she's not. She's been having some complications and whatnot. Once again, you guys, if you don't know, it's down in the links, but Jennifer's posting it here. And if anybody's lurking, we welcome you. We welcome you, Luis. What you got? What you got for our boy? I know you got something in his, and it's got a little magic right out of his hat. Is it?
No, nothing like that.
He's gonna pull.
I mean, I know Hustle Q, better than pretty much anybody in this chat right now in this room because I've hung out with him. I've been sourcing with him. We kind of picked on each other's brain for a little bit. So yeah, no, definitely with Q. My question to you is, are you ready for Q4? That's my question.
Let me rephrase that. I love that. Is Q ready for Q4?
Yep.
Yeah. As you see in the back, I'm working, and it's just proof that I'm working. So I am preparing myself for Q4. I had a rough July, which was my time to take advantage of it by listing and listing and listing. My sales are picking up, and I'm trying to keep up with that. But I am preparing. I will be ready for Q4. That is that's no choice. I gotta be ready. Simple as that. As far as supplies and everything. And back there in the middle is a pile I gotta list. Over there, I'm getting it. I'm about to do it. There's no choice. I want to have a beautiful Christmas.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. It's like, and everybody got stuff going on. I don't know how resellers do it sometimes. Like, we're here to help motivate each other and this and that, but like the real motivation we need is like when we get tied up with family stuff, deaths come along and families and friends and stuff like that. We get challenges in life that, that affect our reselling nature, like whether it's a car fixing or whatever. Man, it's just constant stuff, and that on top of the whole C-19, we'll just call it Rona. How did you deal with us last year?
Oh man, I was scared, dude. I was scared. I'm gonna say I never got tested, but I'm pretty sure I had it a couple times because my wife tested positive, 2 of my kids tested positive, and it was really rough. On a good side, it was an advantage for me leaving my job and everything because I had to stay at home, but it was like I survived it. Of course, I'm still here. I'm in a better shape than I was before. Good. But it was rough. I pray now and I pray every day, but I was praying hard because when my wife caught it, I wanted to stay away from her.
Yeah,
she was a little upset. My kids were crying. I had them in separate rooms. It was hell. It was really hell, and I was just praying to God. So I'm not ready to go, man, like that, and.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm still here, but it was really hard, man, like that.
People don't realize how serious it is. Yeah. And I got family members that are kind of really hard-headed about the whole thing. They're like, anyway, it's kind of like, it is what it is. And you just kind of do what you got to do. And you stepped up as a man. So like, you did what you got to do with your family. And it's like, that's good. I'm glad to hear it because I'm going to still bring that up, I think, in the next future of our show, if we keep this program going. Because these are things that we, people don't remember that it's not, it's been over a year, but like we're still dealing with this stuff. And even if you're not dealing with the physical attributes of like possibly getting ill, there's people that are immune compromised, and and then there's just there's so many different layers and aspects to it. But the thing is I think it's been affecting our our economy. I think it affects how we source. I think it affects so many different things. You know, it puts challenges and dampers on how we can go about that kind of stuff. You know, what do you guys got to tell us about? And then Luis and you guys got to go on about this. Let's talk about the Rose Bowl. So how many times you guys been? Like 2 or 3 times, right? Going to the flea market, is it?
Well, I've only went there once. I got locked down for a minute, and but man, when I did go, I mean, it was hot, but it was just cool being around the people that I was going there to meet. You know what I'm saying? I think that was the most fun part.
Yeah.
It was pretty pricey out there and everything. You found some good stuff here and there.
But you find the good stuff though, right?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's more for collectors, you know, like that. But then I wouldn't mind collecting some of that stuff, you know, because some of that stuff was really nice. But main thing was just hanging out with Luis, Hollywood Reseller, everybody that was there, Miss Taffy, everybody, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You didn't get to see it. That's right. I don't think you were you there last time when Miss Taffy was selling?
Nah, and I wanted to make that one. I missed that one.
That's okay.
Yeah.
There's always future ones too. And one day I'm gonna hit y'all up. I'm gonna make our boy here pick me up in Ontario, flying somewhere. I don't know, but I gotta make it. I gotta know. I mean, you don't understand this. Like, it's the grail for dudes that look for shirts. Like, I know a bunch of homies from the East Coast. They'll fly their ass out to the West Coast just because Rose Bowl got it down. Like, they know, and they will get up with like super early, and they won't end until it's almost done, so they can make the whole round twice. And I heard that's a big place. So that's
it is.
I grew up in San. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, Luis, I remember you were in those bins, right? They have is that from Goodwill or what? Those bins? That was
what the idea is, the concept, I think, right?
Yeah, it's the same concept, but I did talk to the guy that does it, and I asked him if he worked for Goodwill, but he says he didn't. He said it's just him doing it.
Yeah.
Let me give you a little backdrop, because I've been to a couple conventions, and then actually the dudes that run brick and mortar, that like the high end like business dudes that do the t-shirt shops, they got streetwear, kicks, they got it all, and they even have I've seen a good store have vintage toys, kicks, streetwear, and vintage. So that's a lot. That's a lot, but it all fuses together because it's very pop culture. You know, and as a business person, that's multiple sources of income. That's 4 different concepts of streams. Yep. And on top of that, if you got a 5th thing where you got some high-end stuff, man, like selling art or something in there, that's really, you know, that's juicy. But I will say this much: I've seen that a lot of I've been to. I mean, so my boy Oscar here, his name's the Early Bird Reseller. Check him out on Instagram. He don't post a lot or anything, but he's the smartest guy. But like, he caught the bug for me too, and like, he gets the t-shirt thing, but his specialty is Tejano t-shirts, or you know, and it could be some Mexicano shirts, but mostly Tejano music, because you can't find them. They're hard. And I took him to a t-shirt convention. He went crazy. Like he came home with probably I don't know, a couple dozen shirts that he knew were worth money, and people didn't know. They just threw up in the at $10. And he'll go back on Facebook and flip those suckers. So, you know, but we when we were there at the convention, they were doing the same thing. Couple guys everybody had a little pile, and they threw. And it's funny because I don't like it. I don't really like doing that, and I don't like the idea. But that's where the low end stuff is. Meaning, they won't charge you high end dollars. They'll say that's a $5 pile, or that's, you know, whatever. They'll say 10 or 3 for 20. You know, whatever they want to charge you. But I got in there and, man, I pulled some fire. Like, why y'all getting rid of this Rob Zombie? You know, and it's crazy. It's got a front bat hit. You know, it's like, all right, we don't care. And I'm like, damn, you know. And I brought that stuff to a pop up, and you flip it. You know, it's like digging through the toy bin, and you're like, there we go, I got a grail. You know, and it's got to do the work. So what they're doing is, it's a great psychology, but it's actually sales and marketing. Q, you know. And I tell Luis, I said, how do you get them to work for it? Well, you make them know that there's a little bit of there's like, what do they say? A needle in the haystack. That needle's gold, you know. And it's like, how can you do that? So, but it kind of, and it's that premise, because everybody thinks all the t-shirt rats be getting their like stuff from the bins. No, dude, I find artwork. I find the best stuff at the bins. Yeah, you got to dig, and that's where I found Castle Grayskull the other day. And I was like, woo, from the 80s, you know. This is like, you know, talk about vintage toys and stuff.
You know what? I'm just really getting into vintage T-shirts, buying some from Luis before and collecting them. But let me tell you what I messed up on, and I'm kicking myself. I was in the thrift store and Goodwill over in Chino, and I'm looking through the T-shirts, and I see a Larry Bird collaboration with Ghostbusters.
That was you, I think. Did you show it? Oh,
yeah.
Shoot.
And you know what? And the price was $3.99, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and I just passed it by, dude. And I'm just like, I got home and I'm like, I reviewed it and I'm like, what was I thinking?
No, but that's anybody that's a reseller that you're not familiar first. But you know what they say: if it's low enough, just roll the dice, take a risk. You know.
I know
but
better.
You know sports. Maybe you're not an expert in sports, but like you know it enough that Larry Bird. When the next time you're going to see one of them things,
exactly.
bro?
Exactly.
I gotta wait. Let me say that one more time, bro. Come on. Yeah. Real quick, I want to say hi to somebody. Savannah Hope here. I just put her name up. She's my homie on Instagram. She's a t-shirt rat out of Canada. She's going live here after this. If y'all want to see, go to Big Mike's on Instagram. She's going to sell some fire. She is a firecracker. Let me tell you, she's dynamite in a small package. She itty bitty, but she's going to have some fire. So speaking of t-shirt and stuff like that, she's good. Shout out to Savannah Hope, you guys. And check her out on Instagram. She goes by a whole different name. Let me tell you real quick. It's called Vintage Layer Shop. If you're looking for her, vintage. Let me give you a wrench, Savannah. And when I give you a wrench, oh no, that's not how I do it. You know why I'm in StreamYard? You got to go to what do you call it, right? Let me pop that out. But in a minute, can you do that, Luis? Can you give her a wrench, or I got to do that, right?
No, you got to do it.
All right, I'll find you there, and let me get her thing, and I'm gonna post it up. What other questions you got for Q, Luis? Anything else?
All right. Besides the reselling and all that stuff that we've been doing, obviously, is there anything new that you've gotten into besides reselling?
You know what? Let me see.
And I always say, like, what that new could be something you learn too.
Yeah, like another hustle, like maybe getting into making custom hats or shirts or different stuff.
Man. You know what? Right here, you guys can't see it, but let me see. This thing right here.
Yeah.
I paid $8,000 for this printer and I barely use it. I was afraid to advertise because my time. Will I have enough time to do it? I was afraid that I might fail at doing all this other stuff that I'm doing. I owe somebody a shirt. You know who it is, but I just recently started using it again. My problem is I'm not an art designer, but I'm learning how to do artwork on Illustrator. So it's really taking me some time. Sometimes I gotta sub it out to have someone.
Art can't be rushed, bro. You know that. Art can't be rushed. Good
exactly.
art.
So I'm on YouTube learning, but this thing right here, I started using it again, and it's bringing in some cash. But this is something I had for a long time ago, so I can say I'm starting to get back on it now. And it's if I use it right, it's a moneymaker, man. I'm trying to put more videos out on it, tell about it and everything, but yeah.
But you're thinking about that hustle. You're always thinking about that hustle.
Yeah,
exactly.
But the thing about you, man, the thing I've been watching you is like you grind. I got to tell you what, I am a lazy YouTuber. It's easy. I'll push that live button up. I'll yap all day. But like you get in there, you do your edits. Man, he got a lot of videos, don't he, Luis? Jeez, Luis.
Yeah.
Man. I'm telling you, like where do you get that drive? Just like, how do you, because I know you got a family and you're trying to do a lot of stuff. So,
you know what? I do it. I love when I first started YouTube, man, I'm going to be honest with you. It was about the money. I was like, man, I want to get paid. Look at all these people. And then I realized, man, I ain't going to get paid that much. And then it's like, you know what?
You hear, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to like Derek, I want to get to that 1,000 mark and I'm happy. I heard a lot of people say it and I realized, you know what? I like doing the videos, just want to have fun with it. But I just I get to that 1,000 mark, I'm done. I mean, I ain't done, but I'm satisfied, And I mean, it's a complete struggle. I've seen people start with me that had less subscribers and they kept going. I stopped at one time and they kept going, man. But it's like, I like it. I like it now. It ain't about the money no more. It's just whatever, dude. I just like being on here on the live, man. This is beautiful, man. I like that,
Well, I mean, this gives us a little time that we don't, I mean, I only had maybe once or twice got to speak to you, and then we would redeem each other here and there. But like, that's a luxury of lives, which is, I'd say luxury because we're happy you're here, man, because I know like if this wasn't a holiday, you probably wouldn't be able to make it because everybody's schedules are so defined, you know. And
Exactly.
so we you know, we all got different things going on in our life, and I'm still glad you're pushing it because I think you got a lot of creativity, and I know you got a voice to put it out there, and there are people watching, you know. And I think the main thing with YouTube, I mean, you tell me if you disagree or agree, both of y'all, but like, it's just go at your own pace, do it your way, you know. And you got to do it in the way you can do it, because you know, it's funny because we're all influencers supposedly, you know, whether we're doing it for education to help entertain or to educate, like to help other people learn, you know. There's those two things. But like, you know, with influencers, we tend to want to influence other influencers. I'm like, no, that ain't how it works. You gotta be in your own little, you got to put your blinders on and just keep going forward, I think, you know.
Exactly.
And you're truly, I think you're, you know, one of the few I see out there that just doing your thing. It don't matter, you know.
Yeah.
Thank God for that. You know what I mean? So what's new on your list in the next year or two or so? Like, what do you have any, like, so like, do you have like daily goal, or excuse me, I like to call them aims, because aims for me, I think, and technically they kind of lead up to the goal. And the goal could be at the week, the month, the year. So what are your like daily aims that you have? Do you have any rituals, you know, to keep you help? Because for us, we have to be organized, right?
Yeah. Just what Derek's saying right now. My goal is now what I'm aiming for is to open up a shop. I wanted to do a bin store. So when I was doing my research on how people got a bin store open, I think they started with thrift stores first. And then when they open up a little small chain of thrift stores, they're taking bits from each thrift store and donating it to their bin store to have their bin store. So right now, from a bin store, I just want to try to open up a small thrift store, 1,500 square feet. Want to do something like that and try to grow from there, like that. I got a lot of inventory. I got a storage unit full of inventory, and I got people donating me stuff around my whole.
Dude, if you got a storage shed and then you open up a brick and mortar, you know, you ain't got to store that stuff. You just got to have a little, maybe you got to have that little space in the back room to kind of process the, if you can do, but get it out on the shelves, man. You'll be selling that stuff all day, you know. Hopefully, and you know, LA ain't small. You know, you guys got a lot of territory people be passing through, and there's you know the business because you know what we look for.
I'm just like this time. I'm like pretty much taking my time with it, trying to find a good location. And I've been in a business before. I actually had a sports shop opened up before. I kind of rushed it, and now I kind of know the do's and don'ts. So now I'm just like taking my time, staying focused, making sure the money stacks up and everything. Go from there.
I was gonna say, to make your money stacked up, you got to really have a business. What do they call that? A business model, you know, that you're gonna like follow, and then on top of that, what is your, you know, you're gonna have to have some kind of like, you know, vision where you're gonna say, okay, because I just heard some thunder out there, man. I'm like, and I'm like, what's going down here? I guess what I'm trying to say is like, so I love what you were saying before, kind of triggered an idea. Is like, yeah, you're looking for a place. Look for maybe you have to start small, you know, and you got to find whatever's going to be cheapest for you in terms of, you know, running a business. So like because, you know, I know overhead can't be cheap, you know, if you're storing it, but if you can get the majority of that stuff out of there and eventually not have to store it, that's great. But like, if you can start with a small little thing, that would be awesome. And then what I was going to say is get a thrift shop going. You know, get that stuff out, have some clearance days where you see that stuff move. And eventually, you know, you can, when you do expand, you can start with a smaller part for doing the bins. And, you know, it don't got to be as big as most people. And then what you do is all of a sudden it goes for 1/8 bin. Now it's all of a sudden it's up to 1/6 of the store's bin. And then all of a sudden you're up to a quarter and hit that half at one point, you know. And
that's exactly what I had in mind.
Then your thrift store could be high-end, good quality stuff that, you know, people are going to pay up anyway because it's still cheaper than if you go to the damn stores, you know. But that's awesome. I love that. And then you could maybe even have like another little corner with like what do you call those glass cases? You put all your good sports stuff in there, you know, whatever. Expensive. Definitely. So
I'm mapping it out. Good. Definitely mapping it out.
But property and stuff and renting, it's crazy in California. So how does that equate? I mean, how does that become a part of your equation?
What was that again? I'm sorry.
Like, so it's got to be a part of your equation. Like, really, just like you said, you got to be patient and planning it out. Has it been difficult and challenging? Like, really trying to find that right spot?
Every time I find a right spot, it's either some other thrift store next to it, down the street from it. So I'm trying to stay away from other thrift stores. I don't want.
You don't think that could work to your advantage?
It could and it can't. I don't know. I think it actually could. When I had my sports shop, I was right outside the mall. My competition was Lids. And I ain't going to say I beat Lids, but I had a lot more stuff than Lids.
But also, you're going to do it your way, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to have it just – I got a plan for it, mapped out different. When you spoke about the bins starting off small. But trying to find a good location, there's a lot of locations around here. It's just I'm looking for the right size. Yeah. I don't want to overdo it. Just in case, but I like to start off small. Like I said, like 13, maybe 1,500 square feet or less. I was actually looking for 3,000 square feet. There is a building I'm looking at now, and it's actually 3,000 square feet. It's a retail. I'm actually trying to negotiate with her to bring down the square footage. She's at $1.15 with cancel, $1.35. I'm trying to get it at $1. It's sitting empty. You know, I don't know if she's making money right now, but
I was gonna say that's a good way to do it too. Is like, hey, you'd be sitting on it empty when I could have been paying you. Maybe not as much as you'd like, but I'm paying you, you know, which is not
exactly.
Yeah, you know, business folk and property and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't even that's a lot of work, bro. I wish you much success. It'll happen when it's gonna happen, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm being patient.
I think that's the key to being a really good businessman, is just being patient. Yeah. I don't know, dude. It's crazy. So do you ever do auctions or anything?
You know what, man? I've been wanting to do auctions, but I just don't know if I have the right stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It's hard. Luis has invited me multiple times, and I just I just get nervous. I don't know if I have the right stuff. I have some good stuff, and either I sold it or I just don't have enough. You know what I'm saying?
I bring some fire stuff, and sometimes it just could be the interest of the night, or just, it just depends on different things. And Luis has had stuff, and it's like, wow, that just got stolen. But that's the game of the auction, you know. It's like, it is what it is, and you got to that's part of the business. You just realize, okay, I see
you with the shirts. I see Luis with the shirts, so I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can get some shirts. I went to the bins recently. Took my daughter. She found over 6 Harley Davidson shirts.
Woo!
And I was so excited until she said she was keeping it for herself. I was like,
that's crazy when you find at least 6. That's a good. Yeah, I was gonna say a dozen. Oh, she's at 6, because the other day I went through a streak for like maybe almost a month and a half, maybe close to 2 months, no Harleys. I hadn't seen any. I found other good stuff, but the other day I found one Harley.
Yeah,
and they're harder and harder. And it's like, yeah, it is what it is. Hey Mo, we got Mo in here. He's another Cali. He's up in Sacto with none other than Derek. And
what's up, Mo?
But yeah, thanks for being here, Savannah. I appreciate it. I wish you much luck on your auction today. She's doing that. If you want to see, speaking of auction, just for both you guys or anybody that's interested in auction, go on Instagram. If you know how to hunt and you get the right names, look up Big Mike's if you want to see how auctions are running a whole different way. They have this thing called rapid fire, and they're just, and they're bringing 4 guys. They get 1 minute each. That's all they get. I mean, 1 minute. You better. This is what I got. Da, 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 da. If you can fit in another shirt, da, 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 da. And then they'll come out there. And sometimes if they're lucky, if they got fire stuff, So I'm thinking as a business model, like we wanna make our time effective. We want to make our time. Time is money. How quick can you sit on something? How quick can you move something so you don't have to sit on it for so long? What's your business model when you come through, like sell-through rates? What is your goal for like return on investments and stuff like that? What are those things because you do eBay primarily, or do you do platforms?
Yeah, well, eBay and Macari. I was on OfferUp, but OfferUp sort of like banned me because I kept deleting the stuff because I sold it on eBay. So I would delete it, and they blocked my messages. They would only let me list. They wouldn't let me view anything, just list only. And I just uninstalled them, period.
I was gonna say, how are you supposed to sell something if you can't see it?
They wouldn't do it. They would say I got a message, but wouldn't let me view it. So I'm on. I started listing on Facebook Marketplace, so eBay, Macari, and Facebook Marketplace, and then I actually joined some groups on Facebook Marketplace that's buy, sell, and trade. so my listing also goes on there. So
those
lately
were
I've been
good. If you find your regional one, yeah, I found a couple like that where I just gone on, hey, I got a refrigerator, boom, sells.
Yeah.
You know,
I checked. When I'm looking at now, I'm getting a little picky. When I'm looking at stuff, I do check the sold comps. I check to see how many sold in what month and everything, if I want to buy it or not. I mean, in the beginning, of course, I was just grabbing everything. I was excited. I'm starting to resell. But now it's like I'm matured. So it's more like, okay, let me investigate this and see how many. I see that a listing is going crazy, but let's see what it sold for. When was the last time it sold? And then you got to remember, everything that says sold is not exactly what it sold for, you know.
Especially like when you see those ones where like offer accepted. Well, how the hell am I supposed to know? You know, and sometimes just because it says sold doesn't mean somebody didn't back out or screw somebody over. Or there's some kind of churning going on. You know,
because I think when it's sold, I believe the ones that says the auction ones that says bids, those are the ones you can believe that are true. Because I sold something and someone canceled, and I check and it still says sold. When if someone was to look it up. So
Reseller Review says, have you tried police auctions? And then we're gonna move on to Tino. And then
you know what? My uncle has been doing police auction flipping cars. He tried to get me into it, but I don't got no room for it.
Yeah, but don't they not just only have cars? Don't they have like product that they can sell?
Yeah. He said they had some product, watches, jewelry, everything, but he's more into the cars. Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe just hit him up just to kind of get that flow going, and I'm just saying that's just more ideas, not all the time, but maybe even once a month when you figure out, Hollywood. What did he say? He said thoughts on buying storage auctions. Any pros and cons?
I watch Red Dirt Resell. You guys are familiar with him, and he buys a lot of storage auctions. But when I went to a few of them out here, man, these people are bidding like crazy, man.
Aren't they ferocious? I heard California, let alone SoCal, is crazy.
Yeah, they were bidding like I was out at like 200, man. I'm like, they were up at the 1100, 1200 bidding on a storage unit. I'm like, what's in there?
Yeah, them big dogs come with those rolls in their pocket, because I heard some of those are just cash only too, right?
Yeah, you got to have the cash on you right then and there. But it's, to me, I mean, if you got the capital, you can go ahead and take the risk. But starting out, man, you got to buy something low, cheap.
But I will say some of those guys are really educated. Like I met another auction person. I met her at the flea market and actually helped her out, where I said, I got a buddy that wants his stuff out of his garage. You want to go pick it up? Yeah, thank you for telling me. But it was like a business, rapport. You got a network that way. And I'm like, hey, just let me know when you got those T-shirts and that, or clothes you want to get rid of in your, your storage shed. It's like, but it is what it is. You do anything you can do, and everybody got to help each other anyway. But
oh yeah, definitely.
And then Nicety Reseller here's Nice T.
Nice T.
Yeah. Hi, Missy. How you doing?
Good to see you, Missy. So, former Surf City Council. So, what was I going to lead to something else? I forgot what I was going to ask about that. Hey, Luis, you got anything coming to mind too? What is his style like? What is Q's style like? Is he a sniper? Like, is he coming in there? When he goes in there and digs for that stuff?
Hey,
I get that asked all the time when we all get together. They're like, well, how do you guys source if there's like 4 or 5 of you guys?
Oh, that's easy.
But the difference is that we're not all looking for the same thing.
Yeah. And you guys are there as friends too.
Yeah. Like I could be looking for video games or cards. Q, for example, could be looking for plush or jackets.
Yep.
So if I'm going around and I see plush, I'll be like, hey, Q, you need to check this out,
Yeah.
I'll give him a heads
up. But word on the street was that, like, he said he caught you while you were distracted looking at sports. He found what he was going to go get. So he good. He good.
Hey, when I see the sports cards and everything, I tell Luis, because sports card dude right there. I'm like, here, man, check out these like that. I'm afraid.
But then you're like, okay, he didn't see that, so let me go get it. No, but I got a buddy like that. We say it to each other, but I'm like, come on, Oscar, don't. When you're saying it out loud, that's, you can't fool a fool. Somebody trying to fool. But he's like, no, there's enough for everybody. But like, sometimes this guy is short and stout, like, and he's like, he running in there. He's like, get in there. I'm like, wait a minute, who taught you about shirts? Get out of my way. It's like punk ass. No, but it's fun. It takes a little bit of the edginess of just doing it by yourself, sometimes it's boring because you get you look what I found. And I always, he went up there and I said, "What'd you find today?" I found some Harleys, and I'm like, "Okay, that's good, bro. I'm gonna get up a little early next time. Don't worry about it." And it's no, but it's really it'd be boring. It's boring when you don't get to go hang out, and then just really, it's really about celebrating each other and learning from each other and just helping each other. Really, it is. About,
Agree.
I mean, if you can look at it like that, because I know some greedy ass resellers. No, I ain't telling you where I'm going. I'm like, okay, see you later. It's like,
you get some of those.
What do you think? So you do have. You said your daughter went. But is it right? Your daughter went to the
daughter. Yeah.
Do you go with her, or did she go by herself, or?
She goes with me. She thrifts for herself. She loves thrifting.
How old is she?
15.
Dang, good.
And then my other one is 14. She just started thrifting with this whole. They thrift for themselves, which saves me a lot of money.
Well, no, because let me tell you something. This is it specifically at the bins, that age range, that demographic of kids, and I've seen them as young as 12. They're there to hang out. They're there to find the cool shit, and then they realize, oh, I could just post it on my Instagram. They don't. Let me tell you, those kids are smart as. They put it on their Instagram in their story. They have 4 friends. I want it. I want that Nike swoosh. Boop, boop. I want that. It's like, and they sell it without even having to list it within 4 minutes. How you do that, And so Luis and I are always looking for different methods, whether it's TikTok or me. I'm all about the Instagram. I've done a few. I'm not as savvy as some, but what? So you said Facebook is kind of your thing? Is that your jam?
I mean, I just on Marketplace, but when I do posting, it's just on Instagram. But you know what, though? Speaking of Instagram, Matt, going to that, what you're saying, I'm a little broken on that because my Instagram is, I don't know what's going on with it, but I can't do the reels. It just tells me malfunction or something like that, man. And I see everyone's posting up stuff, and I try to get in there and do it, but I just can't. And
I did my first reel the other day. I didn't even know I did a damn reel. And then I look and oh shit, it posted it. And I'm singing with this lady, and I'm like sitting there going, and she's singing this really groovy jam song, and then before you know it, I'm like, oh shit, Derek and everybody else be liking it.
I can't seem to do it. I can't seem to. Facebook is mainly like my family members, though, like that. That's just all family members. But Instagram is every buddy of mine hit me up. He said, "Hey, dude, do you buy your followers?" And I'm like, I said, "No, bro. It's a community, man. Like every Friday, it's a game train. Everyone follow." Everything supporting each other. He's like,
and I guarantee you, it took me a while to realize this. And there's major algorithms going on with that Instagram. Once you got a lot of followers. You got like 3,000 followers, bro.
Yeah,
that ain't chump change.
Yeah, and it's the community. Before it was a lot of. I used to coupon, so it was a lot of coupon people following me too. We're collaborating like that. So. Back in the day,
coupon too. Back in the day, man. Do they? Yeah, people still do that.
Oh yeah, it's a little bit harder, man. But I have some old videos in there, man. What I used to coupon, and I used to have like you see a garage full of this stuff for eBay. It was a garage full of coupons. Take to the swap meet and resell it, man.
That's what I saw this weekend. Somebody had like all their whatever the laundry detergents and things like. And this one lady, she was like giving away. She had boxes of those corn pops and stuff, $1 a box, which was actually damn cheap, or maybe it was $2, whatever it was. But yeah, I was like, damn, I should shop here. But it's crazy. Do you have flea markets that you do like to go locally in your area?
What is flea market the same as swap meet?
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Just the swap meets. Like I hit once I tried to hit down to the Van Buren swap meet. I was with Cali Reseller over at was that a vintage or what's it called?
Oh, the vintage market, the flea market in San Bernardino, yeah.
Oh, did you go see Yo Dig This? Did you see?
Yeah, I met him. I met him.
Yeah,
it's cool. What do you think about a pop up?
You know what? When I used to do couponing, I will pop up. You mean like at a flea market?
Well, like he did. Yo Dig This. Like he has a little tent and stuff. Yeah.
I thought about going back doing that, but I'm gonna be honest with you. When I used to do couponing with it, I'll be at the swap meet every weekend. I used to do about 1,000 a weekend on selling shampoos and conditioner detergents.
That's damn good.
Everybody starts selling the same thing.
Yeah.
And to where I was making maybe 100. And I'm gonna be honest with you, being in that hot sun,
Yeah.
it was just like
no. When your returns, like, yeah, you know how it is. Like, I do pop-ups too, so a flea market, swap meets, whatever you want to call it. When you're out there and you're doing the hustle, I mean, it's a grind when you go, I can't make any less than 500, but I need that K, you know.
Right.
And that's my thing. Like, if I make less than 500, I ain't coming back in that damn heat, you know. And in Texas, it's 110 sometimes. You're like, no, I'm not going out in the 90s. And it's, you know, and I will, and I. Boy, 12-hour days, man. You know, I'm talking getting it set up and putting it away. It's work, you know. But I think I could see you doing it is if you get your high-end collectibles and stuff and just tax that shit, you know. Excuse my language, but
I was thinking about doing it again. I mean, when I'm out there, you know, when it's hot, I'm looking at these people, and it's like if the swap meet is dead that day, and I'm looking at them like, dang, I remember those days. You know, and it's like, man,
if it's slow, you could be the only guy. There could be somebody that want to buy your stuff. You're one of the few out there, unless you mean slow, like not enough people, you know. Or wait till fall when it's cooler, you know.
True, but let me tell you about the swap meet where I go to. Let me tell you something. You come out there with something new that nobody else has. The next time you go to the swap meet, everybody will have it because everybody's watching you and they see what you're selling. And they're going to go find it and they're going to source it out and they're going to bring it the next week, man. Like that. So it becomes a competition.
No,
but
that's a good point. That's a good point. As far as business talking, we don't talk about it enough. By the way, we're cutting short on time. We want to respect your time, Q. So it's like, you know, we're probably gonna wrap it up in a little bit here. And I know Luis, he's got to go get the kids. So, and I got to go for a birthday dinner. So saying that, you know, like you go to whatever it is, and it doesn't have to be a flea market, but like you run a business, like you said, I don't want to go next and open up a business, another thrift shop. You know, it's all about strategy. So like your mental strategies, like what can you do to better yourself? And it's not necessarily a question. It's just kind of a, you know, just putting it out there is like, what can we do to, you know, up it? So like this one flea market that I have, that's literally probably, I would say 2 blocks. I mean, it's like, in 1 minute, I'm back at my house, you know, and I'm like, thank God. And it's a specialty, and it's called Uncommon Objects. And the flea market, they call it, it's once a month, you know, it's Uncommon Flea, but you better have some unusual, rare shit like antiques, and it could be funky, you know. They were like, is that all you do is t-shirts? And I'm like, no. I do vintage t-shirts. I said 35% of them are Texas vintage. They're from Texas. They actually say stuff about from the 70s and 80s from Texas. And on top of that, I'll have quilts. I'll have, you know, tapestries. I'll have rare stuff. You know, that old good stuff, that jam you see from the 70s and 80s that people that used to be in the flea market, but now it's like it's not available anymore. So it's like, you know, and that stuff adds up. And like you said, man, like last week, I didn't just smash it. I killed it. Like I was like, what? I didn't know how much money I had. And all the, you know how resellers are. We all like, how much did you make? You know, how much you make? I don't know. I think I did good. You know, that's what I always say. I'm like, you never mention numbers, but when I got home, like, you know, coming close to 2K, I was like, oh shoot, no wonder why I busted my balls. You know? Yeah, it's a good feeling because, you know, you want your fruits of your labor to do, you know, come forth, no matter what you're doing, whether you're doing, you know, what you're doing here, keep doing it, man. Keep doing it. Keep being real. Keep going with the Instagram, and it takes time, you know, fine tune it, play with it, but make it yours like you're doing. I'm proud to say I know you, and it's good to be with you today. I know this is hard for us all to share, and this time, and we're gonna have you on again one day. We'll do some projects, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely, man, definitely.
Hey, Susan, how you doing?
Hello, Susan.
Thank you for being here, man. I don't know, like maybe you can give us some like closing words for whether it's for new resellers or whatever, you know, any in positive affirmation. I don't care, man. You can say whatever you want. So, but I just want to say thank you for being here and maintain your focus and elevate everybody. But go ahead.
You know what? I was just talking to a guy down the street from me, and he asked me about resale. He said, "What should I do?" First word that came out of my mouth: stay consistent in what you do. If you list 2 items a day, 1 item a day, make sure you do it. Don't build a death pile. Train yourself not to go back out before you list everything. You know, you got to list it first, then treat yourself to go back out and source. Exactly. But just train yourself not to do it and stay consistent and don't, you know, and you got to be disciplined. don't worry about if you get a return. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. You just got to keep going and keep going. It's just keep just list your stuff and just do your thing, man, and stay positive like that. You might not get no sales that day, and you might get 100 sales this week. You never know, but just stay consistent, man.
And see, that's part of the mental strategies is staying positive. And I'm glad you said it because, yeah, you ain't gonna get nowhere otherwise.
Nope.
That's what it is. I appreciate you being here, man. Thanks for.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys have me, man. Appreciate you guys.
You're always welcome back. You know that,
Definitely,
Q.
bro.
And Luis, you wanna say anything? Close us out, bro.
Yeah. Just want to say thanks to everyone for joining us today, and thanks to Q for hanging out with us today. I know it was long overdue, so we got to bring you back again, hopefully sometime soon.
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone that continue to support us every Monday, and I appreciate if you guys hit the thumbs up on your way out and show Louie some support since it's on his channel today.
Appreciate
and
you.
also, we have all of Hustle Q's links down below. If you guys aren't following him on YouTube and Instagram, make sure you guys go down and check it out.
Tomorrow there's an auction. Don't miss Cali Reseller Luis's auction. You're gonna have Fundies gonna be on there tomorrow night.
Yeah,
I'm taking a break, and you guys go show some love and support. Go buy some good stuff because you're gonna find it. Let me tell you.
No, definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna have Fundamentals and Side Hustling with me tomorrow on tomorrow night's auction. So make sure you guys come out, hang out. He'll be bringing some fire stuff as usual. So
he always does. He got some. Definitely. He got some cans of gasoline, and I know you got the matches. So
definitely
blow it up. But y'all be sure subscribe to One Day at a Time Reseller. All the links are down below. If you don't know, just reach out to us. We thank you for being here. Peace and love.